Welcome back to the program. Studies agree that there is no country in the world where men and women are completely equal. In many countries, laws have been set up to give girls and boys, women and men, the same opportunities. But these laws don't exist everywhere. There are, however, projects aiming to create opportunities for disadvantaged women. One of them is Womanity Foundation. It helps women and girls by giving them access to education, vocational training and employment. To speak more about this, we've got the founder and president of the Womanity Foundation, Yann Borgstedt, is with me now in the studio. And joining me from Ramallah is Maysoon Gangat. She's the director of Radio Nisaa, the first commercial women's radio station in the Middle East, set up with help from Womanity Foundation. Thank you both for joining us on Impact. Now, Yann, I'll start with you, because I must say, when we were going to do this, I thought it would be a woman who's coming in, but you're a man and you've set up this foundation. Why did you think it was important?
First of all, I mean, I've been very fortunate in life. I've been fairly successful in business, and I said, you know, if I've been given so much by life, I need to give back. And I started the foundation 10 years ago, and the first program was around sending back to school little girls in Morocco. And then one thing led to another. We started a project in Afghanistan with Cherry Blair when she was in Downing Street. So this is really how the whole story of Womanity Foundation started.
I mean, there must be some country in the world where men and women are equal. There's no country like that?
There are countries where it's better to be, you know, woman than others. Equal, you know, it's a very tough subject. What is equal? You know, they all say the Nordic countries are much better, but you know, I don't believe there is equality. But you know, it goes in both ways. You know, maybe sometimes we're swinging the pendulum in too much of direction to defend women in certain countries also.
Maysoon, let's bring you in because your radio station discusses all sorts of issues. You debate a lot of topics. Just tell us some of the issues that come up.
Well, here in Palestine, on Radio Nisaa FM, lots of issues come up which we think are challenging to us, such as the women at work, divorce, issues around early marriage in Palestine as well, but basically also women's rights, etc. So what we tackle is normal challenges, let's say, that confront women all over the world. And it could be that, relatively speaking, some countries are better than others, just to maybe give a little bit feedback on the intro that we heard earlier.
And some of the issues you'd be dealing with are quite taboo, aren't they?
Yes, they are. For example, recently we've been tackling lots the honor killing issue, which has become a little bit relevant in our society. This year we had around 14 killings. And of course, I put between brackets the word honor, because some of them are not related to honor at all, but rather to issues regarding family feud or heredity or inheritance issues, etc. So some of those issues, yes, we've been tackling recently. And we have been discussing them in the form of debates, democratic debates on the radio. We have different parties talking about them, and audience interaction on those issues as well.
And tell me, how are people reacting to these issues that you're discussing? I mean, I imagine some of the men in the country wouldn't be reacting very well at all.
Well, here in Palestine, I must say that we've tackled those issues very sensitively and very objectively. We haven't really got any confrontation or any objection on them, because what we do, as I say, is tackling them in the right ways. We bring legal opinions, we bring sociologists, we bring psychologists, we bring the victim's family to talk about it. So all in all, I mean, there is a disapproval in the Palestinian society on what's happening in terms of honor killings. So the whole society stands by us on these debates.
Yann, just give me some stats of some of the worst places where women find it very difficult to get access to education, to projects like yours.
I mean, Afghanistan is an easy one, you know. You just talked about it a bit earlier about the elections. You know, we've been working in Afghanistan for the last 8 years. And, you know, you have access to education, but also the quality of education. What we've been working in Afghanistan, for example, is transforming girls' school into model schools. Because you can say, I'm sending half of the girls to school, but if the quality of education of girls is not as good as boys' education, it's only statistics. So I think, you know, if you look, Afghanistan is probably one of the worst one. Pakistan is a challenging one. And then you have also, you know, women's rights. You know, violence against women is an issue that we've done a big award with Accenture about it, and it's a big issue, but it transcends developed and not developed countries, you know. They said in the UK, 1 out of every 4 women will at some point in her life suffer violence.
And Maysoon, through your radio station, have you seen improvements in the lives of women because they've now got a platform to talk about these issues?
Oh yeah, certainly. We've had lots of feedback. Now we've been on air for 4 years, and we've had excellent feedback from women NGOs, civil society organization, even on the formal level with the Ministry of Women Affairs here, and of course the audience and listeners. We've made some impact, and this impact has been, I must say, positive. This is a radio station which is very specialized. The content is very focused on women issues. It exposes also the positive role that women play in the society, so it's not basically about problematic issues or challenging issues. It also portrays the positive role of women in our society in order to give inspiration to others. So it has been a very effective tool to reach women, even in marginalized areas, and to discuss issues that concern them and raise awareness amongst them.
Yann, the radio station that Maysoon is a director of is just one example of what you do. Just tell us what other projects you've got.
I mean, leading from what we, the idea from the radio was based when I was in Afghanistan. I met a very famous photographer called Reza who said, there should be a radio for women. I love the idea. And we met with Maysoon in Jerusalem, and he said, why don't we start it? Maysoon used to run another radio. Then about 2 years ago, Radio Nisaa was doing very well. We decided, where can we do it? Where can we replicate the model? We decided to go to Egypt. Arab Spring was happening. Egypt was in the middle of it, very big country. So we went there and we tried to open. We never got any frequency. It was a fight between the Muslim Brothers and the army. So we decided, why don't we do a radio fiction? Radio fiction is like 30 episodes about the life of a young Egyptian who wants to be a journalist. And through that, we're tackling a lot of issues like Maysoon was saying, early marriage, violence against women, harassment. And now we're actually broadcasting this radio fiction in 9 countries, such as Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Iraq, Syria. So it's really been an amazing adventure for us. Also, we involved a lot of very big artists. Mona Zaki, which is one of the leading artists in Egypt. Nancy Ajram, the leading singer, did the music. And so it's been a very, for us, great adventure, but also we're getting a lot of audience and a lot of great feedback.
Great. Well, it's a fantastic initiative, and we're very fortunate to have you both on the program. Thank you very much, Yann and Maysoon, who's in Ramallah. That was Yann Borgstedt and Maysoon Gangat.